Okay, so another weird part of my brain created strong Clutage Evangelion is also responsible for this. Don't have that long to film, but I reckon I have enough time for the time lapse today, and I can then do the talking about it, size comparison stuff tomorrow. So let's cut to time lapse. Okay, and here we have the classic Space Marine. So, let's run through the 40k side of references first. He has a little chain down here, the banner on the back here, and the general Space Marine shape, and also chainsaw on the classic Space blaster piece. Classic Space side of things obviously is the colour. You got the logo up here. The printed brick is the only part that is genuine classic Space. This is the modern take on the helmet from apparently Ninjago set used this. I don't know. And you can see here this is the hollow stud style of the head. So yeah, the recent version basically. I also swapped out the actual Space Marine backpack for a pair of air tanks. And yeah, to give a comparison, here is have a look next to the actual air tanks on an actual classic spaceman. Size wise, here's how they scale. It's very bring a kid to work day, I admit. You know, I mean, my knowledge of 40k is fairly limited. Most of it comes from Ben and Tom. According to the post I made in the LEGO subreddit about this guy, it's apparently in scale. I think Space Marines are meant to be like 8 feet tall though, so that means that this guy's only 4 feet tall. I don't know how that works. Anyway, moving him aside, I'm speaking of the LEGO subreddit as well. This user drew a bloody brilliant piece of fan art of this guy that is on screen now, along with their Reddit username. Any socials they give me for artwork and stuff will be in the description. I haven't contacted them about that just yet, so you'll have to wait and see there. So, articulation for this guy. The head is technically the head is on a swivel in there. There's a little bit of back and forth, but only a little bit. It's easy to just pop the helmet off, manually swivel, and reattach it. Shoulders are on a limited ball joint. They basically get a little bit of butterfly, a little bit of outward, and a full spinny spin. Elbows are on a pretty unrestricted ball joint, so they can do pretty much whatever you need them to. If you need them to point his gun directly at the camera, then he can do that. Oh yeah, obviously the use of grey scattered about the place is very much based on the classic Space colour scheme, as are the red and green lights and on the arms. So, lower down then, you've got an incredibly slight arching back here, just as a side effect of construction as much as anything else. Not really much use for anything. Slightly limited waist swivel. Let's just swing up one of the arms to show that the hip armour here can get out of the way. So you can get the waist a little bit further, should you so choose. But at the same time, there's no real need for it to go that far anyway. It also means that you can only get about that far out normally, but if you rotate the armour right the way back, you can get to about there, which is a good enough spread for what this guy is. Knee, right the way up here. Decent range, far more than the forward mobility of this guy actually allows for, I will admit. You're not really going to be standing tall on anything anytime soon. Just a side effect of being a fairly small lad. So let's get the whoop. Didn't mean to unclip that, but yeah, you can see that it's just on a clip joint, so that's how that whole thing works. So yeah, ankle is on a fairly deep set ball joint. I can actually pop the foot off, and you can see that that joint's all the way up there. In theory, this goes right the way in to where it can only swivel. If you twist it and pull it out a little and wiggle it, then you can get some decent tilt, which unsurprisingly is my preference. So, the other noteworthy thing as well about the feet is that they have an open Technic port down here on the bottom. I do have a stand designed for a base designed for this guy that, like, I don't know, does it have to be a Games Workshop base to be legit? Or can I brick build one? Because either way I'm going to do a brick building one just for the fun of it. I just want to know if that'll be fully tournament legal, because apparently this guy is somehow legal, as I designed and built it myself. And that apparently is the Games Workshop requirement for custom stuff. Something to do with 3D printing or whatever, I don't fully understand it. So, it's also... Now, Emperor Jimmy's base was unavailable for size comparisons, but I can bring in Emperor Palpatine and Emperor Galvatron. And Emperor Galvatron again. So, yeah, let's just recenter. Let's bring his little friend back in. And yeah, this has been the Classic Space Marine. All the blue parts for this guy are also available in white, so I will probably be getting a white one at some point along with the base to go with it. Not sure, no real timescale for that yet. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Lucas Builds. Instructions for this guy out next week. If you can dig up the Reddit thread, they are posted in an Imgur link on there in quite a few places at this point. See ya.